Part 6, The Conversation with the Mirror. There comes a point in every story, every shared flame, where the lights dim, not from loss, but from reflection. The mirror appears, and you can either look away or lean in. It happened, as it often does, quietly. Nadia was sitting cross-legged on my bed, wrapped in one of my old t-shirts, hair wet from the rain, eyes far off somewhere between memory and myth. We hadn't said much that evening. No need. But when I returned from the kitchen with 2 mugs of tea, she looked up, not as the woman who danced in strobe lights or moaned into velvet pillows, but as something older. More raw. "I need to ask," she said, voice trembling only slightly. "Do you ever wonder what we're really doing with all this?" It hit me like thunder, not guilt, but the weight of self-examination. I sat beside her and for the first time in a long while, allowed the silence between us to stretch without fear. Then I answered, honestly, every day. But the answers keep evolving. Because here's the truth. What had started as thrill turned into exploration, then bloomed into something sacred. But even sacred things must be understood, or they risk becoming rituals without meaning. Nadia and I began talking deeply. About pleasure, about race, about power, about who we were when we weren't wrapped in skin, or climax, or approval. Were we chasing validation? Were we liberating ourselves? Or repeating something programmed deeper than desire? I confessed something that night, that sometimes I'd stare at myself in the mirror afterward and ask, what was that really about? Not in regret, but in awe. Because sex for us had never just been physical. It had been a language we used to rewrite who we were, over and over again. But language evolves, and we were evolving too. That week, I stopped shaving my chest. Let my hair grow wild again. Started writing. Nadia began meditating every morning, lighting incense before breakfast like she was clearing her spirit. We didn't stop seeing others, but the space around it changed. It became quieter, more reverent. We met a man named Solomon, Nigerian, soft-spoken, hands like healing tools. He didn't even kiss us the first night, just cooked for us. Told stories of his grandmother, held eye contact like a monk. When we finally shared a night together, it was like stepping into water warmed by the sun. Every touch had intention. Every sigh had a reason. It wasn't about dominance anymore. It was about presence. We weren't losing ourselves in others. We were finding ourselves there. And in the mirror, I no longer saw a hedonist. I saw a priest of pleasure, a keeper of sacred connection, a man who honored the divine in himself and in others. As for Nadia, her laugh changed. It got fuller, rounder. She stopped performing and started embodying. She didn't seek to please anymore. She sought to share. And in doing so, she became more beautiful than ever before. This chapter wasn't the end of our adventures, but it was the beginning of meaning. We had walked through the fire. Now we tended the flame. Shall I carry us to part 7, Echoes in the Highlands, where old memories meet the silence of Scotland and new understandings take root?